Hey everybody, I wanted to invite you in today for Monday afternoon shave. I work from home, which means that a lot of times things get put off. You know, you joke with other people who work from home and you ask, well, do you remember to brush your teeth every day? And you know, you have to remember to do things like this. Also, you get a lot of flexibility, so you know, sometimes I don't necessarily get ready first thing in the morning. I do it in the afternoon or evening after a workout or something like that. So as always, I like to soak my bowl and brush while I'm showering in warm water so that it can be nice and warm, using just a Blondie Boar brush. And for a bowl today, I'm using this, found this at a thrift store. I think it is actually used for grinding ginger, so it is not a shave bowl. But it's got all these, you know, ridges in there, which really makes for a cool lather. Plague Doctor, it's a good soap. And I'm using the Gillette Red Tip with a 4th use Voskhod. Here's our blade. It's gonna go in the blade bank after today. So, as always, I actually like this Boar brush a lot. One, because it was my first brush, you know, and you tend to be a little bit partial to that. Two, because being a natural hair, it really holds the moisture well. So we just get a good lather on there, and it does not take much. Get all that in the bowl. And then with these ridges in this ginger grinding bowl, it lathers up real quick and real nice. This bowl has actually a little lid on it with a bunch of spikes on it that I've used from time to time to hold a glycerin soap in place. So I can build up my lather and then push the lather off down into the bowl and then set that aside rather than putting the puck down in the mug. Works pretty well. You know, it's one of the fun things about shaving is you kind of improvise from time to time. Do some fun things. So, see, it does not take very long at all to get really a pretty good lather. And I tend to kind of go all out getting it on my face. My brother teases me. He's like, you missed a spot down by your belly button. Why does he know how I shave? Well, we've gone on trips together and you shave in the hotel room. I always get it up in my nostrils. Not very good at that. So one of the things that two of the things that I'm focusing on that I tend to do wrong most of the time is that I tend to put too much pressure. That's one of the rules with traditional shaving, no pressure, you know, and I tell people that, but then I go and put a lot of pressure. It's bad. And I tend to buff a lot, go over the same spot over and over and over again, and then my face suffers because of it. So I'm going to try not to do that today. One of the great things about kids are the constant interruptions. So the first pass is usually pretty easy for me. Grain grows down, 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 and then for some reason it parts on my neck. Cool. That's pass number 1. Rinse off a little bit to keep from getting too dry. Another thing, I don't always rinse, and by the 3rd pass, my lather tends to be real dry. So lately, trying to focus on that more. This red tip's real cool. It's from, I think, about the mid-1950s. It's a nice razor and just a little bit aggressive, so I like to pair it with a smoother blade. But it's just a testament to one of the reasons why people enjoy traditional wet shaving. And that's that you don't have to buy the latest and greatest. You can buy a razor that you like. Find one that you like and it'll stick around for 100 years. As long as you take care of it. Number 2's done. Rinse off a little bit. And get the last. See, I've still got plenty of lather in there. This bowl lathers up real good. I like it. Now, against the grain is always the rough one. I don't know if you can hear that, but even after 2 passes, you can still hear it working on the whiskers. And I've only been at this a couple of years, so I am by no means, how to get shaving cream clear up on my eyebrow. So I am by no means a pro, still very much a beginner. That's another fun thing about wet shaving, is that it's, you know, it's fairly quick to learn, and one of those things that just takes a long time to master. See, look at that. Boom, rough. Part of that's my technique, part of it's the fact that it's a 4th use blade. One thing I like to do is take the brush, just go like that, get a nice glob in your hand and just kind of feel around. This side right here is where I always need to do some touch up. This is where you go from, yeah, smooth to really smooth. You get those last little bits. You get a shave that you never dreamed of with your cartridge razor. I always like to mix warm and cold into kind of a lukewarm, just to get all the lather off, because like I said, I get lather everywhere. In my ears, up my nose. And then I turn the hot off and then go full cold. This is where you become a man. Give your face a nice cold rinse, wake you up. Always have a towel nearby. Now, because I got some nicks, we'll go ahead and use the Styptic pencil today. I like to be generous with it. And I just rinse it and wipe on the rag so that it's not completely wet or bloody when I put it away. One of the things that you need to have when you are doing traditional shaving is a blade bank. By the way, this is how I take care of my razor afterwards. I brush down, not into the blade, but down the blade. Get that dry, and then dry off the handle. One of the things you should have is a blade bank, little sharps container to dispose of your blades. Turn your razor up, or if it's a 3-piece, unscrew it, take it apart, and always handle it either this way or this way. And you just take and slip it in there, and sometimes it'll kind of get caught and you'll be tempted to tap it down or, you know, push it down. You'll only do that once because you will cut yourself. I use my fingernail sometimes, and you just need to think before you move. Whenever you're dealing with these razors, think before you move. Let's see. We can do some Thayer's Lavender Witch Hazel today. The way I like to do this, my brother taught me, I don't know if you can see, but you kind of make a little bowl with your thumb and your forefinger like that and pour into it. I like to let that sit for a minute. I don't know if there's anything to it, but I figure before I put the aftershave on top, I let the witch hazel sit and do its job, whatever it is it does. And then we're just gonna, since we use the Plague Doctor soap, we're gonna go ahead and use Plague Doctor aftershave. This is one of the first ones I ever bought, and I really, really like it because it's kind of floral, but not real floral. It's a really good smell. I really like it. I'll be smelling that all evening. That's it. Got a little cleanup to do on my bowl down here. But other than that, happy shaving.